Co-founder of Sustainable Data, and this is Recalibrating Value, Identity, and Impact through the Blockchain Cardano Impact Report. So what is the Impact Report? The report highlights the positive social and environmental impact Cardano is having on communities and businesses all around the world. As you can see, we were actually got the report endorsed by Charles himself, and this is the report right here. Yeah, so the report's broken down into 7 different chapters, looking at value, blockchains and positive impact, Cardano and sustainability, environmental impact, social impact, governance in the blockchain ecosystem, impactful stakeholders alliances, and NFT for Give.
And we are going to try to go through all of them, but only with some most representative projects. So apologies if we don't mention your project. We love all of them equally, but the time they gave us, you see, for all these projects. And so this is the impact, like the, fingerprint of the impact which Cardano is doing in the world.
Talking about the world, so beyond Cardano, of course, there are many impactful projects, organizations, non-profits. So we are building Impact Web3. We have the Proof of Impact platform, PIP, to enable non-profits, NGOs, impact organizations to join us on this digital transformation journey, tokenize their impact, to deploy finance and capital to where it's most needed at the grassroots. Domino DAO as well was the community arrangement so that they can vote, so that they can help manage the treasuries in a transparent and accountable way.
If you want to dive deeper into the Cardano Impact Report, please scan the QR code, and you can kind of deep dive into over 65 plus projects that are boots on the ground and making an impact in the world.
And you can also find it with Google in case the QR code is not working.
Yeah.
So why do we need this impact? Not the report, but why do we need to really transform Cardano into an impact blockchain? And I know that this is kind of, there is a debate about that. Yes, do we want that? Why wouldn't we want that? But sometimes when the community is voting for projects, we don't see that trend so much. So obviously, as we're going to talk about, are projects that are addressing these symptoms of a self-terminating global socio-economic system, which you can read there. I'm not going to read that. And so if we want to get out of there, yes, there are a few solutions, but let's see first what are the generator functions. So the rival rose dynamic, which we see also in the crypto community, yes, I mean, like, okay, my blockchain is better than yours. Charles yesterday in the keynote, yes, so he transcended that because now Cardano is becoming an interoperability blockchain, which can communicate with all the others, and I think that's a successful way to go. Then subsuming the substrate, it's exceeding the planetary boundaries with our consumption and so on and so forth. And of course, exponential technology. And I am with SingularityNET, which is going to deploy the Singularity pretty quickly. I think either next year or in 2 years. So we have, of course, a workshop dedicated to that next year. And we are very concerned, yes, if the singularity is going to eat us all, or is going to enable us to transcend our limitations, including these generator functions, behaviors. So, and what can happen? I mean, how can we actually stir the commons and the population towards light? Let's put it this way. So it can be either dictatorship or chaos. Forget what is going on now. We want a new governance system. It's more like the crypto-anarchists movement, and our position is that it's neither nor. We need wisdom, and for this, technology can help. So we need global coordination, and technology can help. Blockchain can help us be accountable, and you will see in the projects which we are presenting today, the artificial intelligence can also help us by impregnating our values, the right values, through the blockchain, into all our infrastructures, so that into the fabric of society, so that it can stir the good behavior and this transcendent behavior. As we know, Web3 and blockchain, and in particular, they do not have a very good reputation. Unfortunately, there's still talk, and that's why our report is so important. I mean, their report, I feel like it's mine as well because I have my heart in it.
And it is.
But it is important because people look at the dark side, as you can see, yes, and especially the people coming from the, let's call it the old system, they don't support our work. So we want, with this report, to emphasize the positives of blockchain and of technology, and show also ways to use it to harness the power towards, and to harness society towards that positive direction. So we want to make Cardano a technology that intrinsically improves lives. And when we are thinking about impact, yes, we envision a global economy that uses technology as a force for good, thus driving the virtuous rebuilding of the systems of the world. This is a very important issue which is not very clear in the world, and which the impact report is addressing. And Razali is going to speak about that, but the idea is the ultimate goal is to collectively evolve social, financial, and governance systems towards a world that puts people in full control of their lives. So we are here with the people, us included. So our impact mantra is do well by doing good. And we want impact to be included, as I mentioned, yes, in the Cardano values. Through technology, through artificial intelligence, we will show you how some projects are actually doing that. And for us, what it means to get to the moon is, of course, we would like ADA as well to go to the moon, but in an impactful manner, in a positive manner. So our moonshot is impact as culture. So what we mean by that is that not simply oiling the wheels of the old system, as maybe we have seen also on the main stage at this conference. Yes, I mean, yeah, let's do some CBDCs and let's see how it influences banking and stablecoins and so on and so forth. No, we want to actually, impact for us means to innovate for improving people's lives and to measure that clearly. So, So we want Cardano to bring the world together to empower people to make positive change and to be this infrastructure that can, through blockchain and algorithmic governance, self-executable smart contract, what you have seen Charles describing yesterday, to actually harness this project and the communities into positive work. It's not easy. I just wanted to underline that. This is definitely not easy. Many impact projects which we have underlined in the report have been through this, because it's this conflict between classical investing and traditional philanthropy. Impact investing is somewhere at the edge between them. So it is at the intersection between them, but we didn't find the perfect intersection yet and how to do it right. So we are looking for those kind of things as well, and how to resolve this tension, because impact investing is one which blends social and financial returns for long term. So one example is that, for example, with blockchain, you can look at how the SDGs are being fulfilled, and the impact investors can really know the effect of where their money are going. They can track what is happening in the project and verify and authenticate the data through the blockchain. I'm going to go faster now, but please, impact measurement, this is, I think, the most important thing, for me at least, yes, to really know, is there an impact or is just lip service?
100%, Dr. Ulieru. And so, talking about moving from lip service, greenwashing, all the scandals, how do we move forward in a measurable, verifiable, transparent way? And in our impact report, we collaborated with some really forward-thinking, innovative partners. But this is a new era we're talking about. So here in this room, some of you may be familiar with these concepts, these visions, but you go outside and, as Dr. Ulieru has alluded to, it's troubling some of the legacy institutions. But we're building what we've called the Proof of Impact platform. Okay. That will allow anyone in the world, grassroots institutions, who are looking for a transparent, verifiable means of measuring impact and using NFTs as vehicles to deploy it in a trackable, traceable way. They can do that with PIP. going back to measuring impact, a very difficult thing. What is impact?
So this is exactly, how do we get over the greenwashing? Please, let us know.
And thankfully, with Green Crypto Research, they presented the world's first ESG ratings methodology. Over 100 variables and indicators have led to, as you can see here, Cardano being rated as a AAA green crypto. They're working with banks in Switzerland to bring these ESG ratings to financial institutions because, as we know, we need approximately $4 trillion to achieve the UN Sustainable Development Goals. So we need all these actors together to understand how to deploy and to where, and this is one way to bring that. Matero, thank you Daniel for being here. Here's one of the co-founders of Matero. They have developed the impact.
Can you raise your hand because I want people to come to you? Yes, after the session if they have questions for those who are in the room.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for your work.
So they've broken down their tool, their service for anyone that wants to use it using these rating methods. You have the manual rating system, you have the GSRM rating system, you have the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals Blueprint, and you also have the IRIS Plus impact category. Now, blending all of that, you've got a very amazing, innovative way to have impact investors see what they want to invest in, have the data to prove that impact is actually measured. And
so that we can achieve the collective flourishing, which is the ultimate goal which I was talking about in the beginning.
Now diving into self-sovereign identity. Self-sovereign identity is...
And this is related to the social impact, just to that's why the collective flourishing is
a digital identity management model that grants individuals and businesses sole ownership and control over their data. And looking at a digital identity solution, Proofspace, they're actually creating digital identities on the blockchain. And what they do is they implement selective disclosure and zero-knowledge proofs so that people can take control of their data.
Fantastic. And of course, there are many others featured in the project, like IMX and so on. And you know.
And looking at social impact, Empower is unlocking Africa's climate-smart, affordable housing opportunity. And their mission is to enable 1 million African families to become owners of a climate-smart home by 2030.
And they have been also nominated for the award, which we may see tonight who is winning it, but they well deserve to be nominated.
these homes are already happening and being filled.
Yes, they really have an impact, yes.
And in conjunction, World Mobile. So we talk about impact, technology, digital connectivity, but billions of people are at the moment not part of that. World Mobile's innovative solution is allowing people, even in rural areas and villages who've potentially been neglected, underserved, left behind, to be part of that positive change in movement.
And Profile also, so big social impact. I'm sure many of you know them because they have been voted positively several times
Mihaela's here.
on Catalyst. Oh, hi, and Mihaela is here, so he can talk to you afterwards as well. So this is a project which is securing your data, yes, which is the biggest challenge, especially me coming from SingularityNET, yes, in artificial intelligence, this is the biggest challenge. How do you keep the data secure? And I'm going to speak about this as well towards the end. Yes, and Rejuve is also a project which is enabling people to stay healthy by tracking and also to be rewarded if they disclose their health data so that they can be used for longevity products and personalized medicine. So that is an app which you can download now, rejuve.ai, and start to play and be rewarded. And they work in conjunction with Rejuve Biotech, which is doing those longevity products. Now let's move to the environmental impact.
First, looking at Veritree. Veritree is creating the restorative operating system that's enabling stakeholders to track, record, and verify their impact and accurate data. What they're doing is connecting with corporate partners and helping them reduce their carbon footprint and allowing them to actually track and trace each tree that is planted.
So the investors know that actually, if they planted a tree or they sponsored the planting of a tree or of a forest, what's going on there and where the money went.
Talking about where the money went, you can see an example here of the art that was given to the donors, and this was the first of its kind global impact challenge between Veritree, Cardano Foundation, and Cardano Trees. And $1 million ADA was raised globally, which has led to 1 million trees being able to be put into the ground and help tackle this drive towards a climate-friendly future, right?
Looking at climate neutral Cardano, we actually got Rick here, who's part of the Climate Neutral Cardano Alliance. They're an alliance of stake pools all over the globe, and what they're doing is they're addressing the sustainable development goals through an agroecology and restoration, and they're partnered up with an NGO based out in Madagascar.
This is such an impressive project, which I always refer to. I just wanted to say I'm so happy to see you in person here. And, yes. So Cogito protocol is also an interesting one from the perspective of environment, but their approach is to take a more holistic view on stablecoins. So what the idea is that they would peg the stablecoin to an index which would be somewhere in the future, an approximation, of a forecasting of that index. For example, like when the singularity will come upon us, or will it be positive or not? But the relationship to the environment is through the green coin, because United Nations and many organizations, for example, like UNDP, which was here before, they have their own indexes for climate change and for temperature changes and so on and so forth. So using those indexes, they can, and pegging the coin, number one, if you buy the coin, you are incentivized to actually have a good behavior towards the environment, because then you will do better financially as well. So it's a kind of environmental, social implication, a more holistic approach. It's very interesting. I really invite you to take a look. You can find them also, you can Google them, the green coin.
Now looking at governance, Clarity Protocol, they're a one-stop shop for setting up a DAO, and what's really awesome about Clarity is it allows new governance models to be created in communities, and they're actually enabling treasury management, voting, and new proposals to help drive and direct those organizations forward.
Sophia DAO is a game which is enabling, let's say, new ways of governance through gaming, but you play with the artificial intelligences. So as we are deploying the Singularity, we want also to find out which are the emerging modes of governance that are actually better than what we can even imagine today. And we play with the AIs in this regard to find the best DAO structure and those parameters. How do we tune them in the best possible way for humanity? It's a very interesting project.
Now looking at cultural.
Yes, so Mandala, so now we are kind of in the gaming space. The Mandala Metaverse also is related to, in a way, that quest for the humanity to transcend these limitations, which I mentioned in the beginning, that we are also aiming with the Singularity. That you are playing in the Mandala, but actually you are being drawn inwards towards your real purpose, and through certain trials which are going to be revealed to you through the game, you're going to discover your calling, which maybe living in the old system didn't give you this opportunity. So Mandala is trying to help people step out of the matrix, as they say, out of the matrix, enter the Mandala. And it's very interesting. Yes, I really recommend that. Maybe you know them, but I recommend that you try it. It's fascinating, and it's also aligned with our purpose. And they collaborate with SSI, Sovereign Identity Project. Sophiaverse is a similar project in which humans and Singularity or AGIs are playing together in order to envision the future. How would the beneficial Singularity look like? What would its impact be on humanity? But it's better to try that in a game than really in real life, so that we are prepared. So we can run several simulations in this way. Another fascinating project done together with hands-on robotics and SingularityNET on Cardano. Jump Galaxy, maybe you know them. There's the one robot is here at the SingularityNET booth. They are playing, and I think they will also probably tonight. They may play. Ben Gertzel is also in the band. So what they do, actually, the purpose is the fact that they are playing with the robot is fascinating by itself. But what they do, they want to support the new musicians to connect to their fans, and through those concerts to play the new musicians' songs and so on, and popularize them, to step out of the, what I call this entertainment machinery that is actually sucking all the value from the creators. And I just wanted to say, and I didn't have time to put it here, that Desdemona has rewritten one of my poems and created a song from one of my poems. But you can find that online as well. I was very impressed, I must say, really emotionally touched. So maybe the singularity is here already, we'll see.
Talking about exiting the matrix and being a hero. We have real life heroes at the Palawan NGO network based in Palawan in the Philippines that we're working with. With Street Surveyor, we've created art as activism, proof of impact NFTs to help the grassroots land defenders. What's at stake though? If you watch this Emmy-nominated documentary, The Recado, you'll be able to see what's at stake, what's happening right now, and how you can join the movement for positive change. On the left there, you've got the shot of the famous chainsaw Christmas tree. So over the decades, they had captured chainsaws that were actually carrying out illegal logging using a citizen's arrest law. Why is that important? Well, one chainsaw can cut 20 trees a day, and unfortunately, to tackle climate change, we need our trees and we need to protect our primary forests. So,
and if I may say, this is a measure of impact, but the negative impact, yes,
right.
We can see
Yeah.
it there, right? So impact in many ways, and it's good to measure also the negative, so we can
Yes.
really see what we are
yeah,
doing to the
we need to
world.
understand the problem to have a solution. So these are the art pieces that have been produced, and if you want to scan the QR code and follow how to support grassroots land defenders, please do. Another partnership we have with Rimba NGO, based in France, with a presence in West Sumatra, Indonesia. Now, this is so important. Many people here may have been to Indonesia, had a good time at Bali, but did you know that Indonesia is one of the leading countries for deforestation? Deforestation accounts for approximately between 6 to 17% of global greenhouse gas emissions. So if we want to tackle climate change, we need to go to the root of the problem. People here in Rimba are working on that very front line, and we're helping them on that digital transformation journey. They have been buying land in order to protect the land from illegal logging and wildlife poaching. They were communicating with the local village and community members as to why that's important and alternative livelihood methods. With our proof of impact platform and a Catalyst funded proposal, we're able now to deploy this technology to where it's most needed and help fundraise for what's very important today and tomorrow.
And that's Razali visiting Rimba back in 2014 and in 2018. And what was your impression between this?
I mean, just in 4 years, right? It was an incredible shift.
So the impact was evident.
The impact is evident, and right this very moment, they're having impact, and they're so delighted that people outside of their local vicinity care about these matters. Blockchain enables people from their armchair and phone to help.
Amazing. We are only a very small fraction of the project, of the 65 projects, which we didn't have time to acknowledge all of them, but they are here. Charles signed up for it, and we really want to commend everyone and call more from the community, more people to join the Impact Crusade, if I may call it this way.
And if you want to learn more, please scan this QR code and you can dive into the Cardano Impact Report. We highlight over 65 plus projects that are boots on the ground and making a difference in the world. So we'd love for you to dive into that.
And now I just wanted to, for very little time, because we have this crisis here with the HyperAIBox, to let you know about this new sidechain of Cardano, which Charles didn't have time to mention yesterday, but this is a sidechain which is built on Hydra. And it is called HyperCycle. The idea is the Internet of Artificial Intelligence, and why, what is it doing actually? So currently, and if you would see those logos, so these are a different kind of impact. The idea is that all the AIs are being developed totally separate from each other and competitive, and we live in this Moloch world, Molochian world, if you want the metaphor. And HyperCycle is building actually the interoperability so that they all can cooperate. And this is a very good infrastructure also for SingularityNET, which actually is developing on their platform agents, artificial intelligence agents, that can combine with each other into more complex services. And using, if you allow me just one technical term, knowledge graphs, we are building on Cardano through HyperCycle, so this side chain, we are building the global brain. The idea is that we actually can securely partake to the global brain using HyperCycle. Why? Because the data, your data is encrypted, but it can go together with other data into one port. On the other side, using these boxes here, you can bring the algorithm to your data, so your data can stay in your home safe and secure. So these are some algorithms which are inside the box, which maybe Dr. Janko, who is here, who brought the boxes, can explain more about. And so the idea is how we do it today with the centralized databases and even the decentralized ones with the ledger. It's much more time consuming than how HyperCycle is doing it. HyperCycle actually has a ledger, but total IP is a very thin ledger, which enables very fast computation for the artificial intelligence algorithms.
It's peer-to-peer, so actually you can have sort of different nodes having different algorithms, and then one node passing its output to another node in a peer-to-peer fashion without immediate validation on the blockchain. So it's using some zero-knowledge proofs to actually pass on the computation that's validated later on. So you can do very fast functions, essentially, that are not waiting on some block to be sealed.
And the idea is that, okay, with the boxes, I mean, if you don't want the box, you can simply download it on your laptop, and then you can use it and run it from your laptop.
In this case, you just select which kind of AI machine you want to run on your computer or the box.
So this is possible from your computer to select the algorithm which you want to run on HyperCycle to keep your data safe. Of course, it may sound cumbersome, but still, we are Cardanos, right?
HyperAIBoxes, hyper appliance. They're literally, first ones were shown a couple of weeks ago at a hackathon, block hack in Toronto, and those are the first productions. So these are actually the second set of boxes that are being given away today.
And the idea is that if you don't want to download HyperCycle on your computer, you can have the boxes. What is the advantage of having a box? Can you tell us in 15 seconds?
The box will run AI machines, will also enable in the future processing on the edge. It also has proof of reputation, so that as the box is running, those nodes will gain more reputation. And if you keep it on, you're not using resources of your own computer, so you're using the appliance itself. It's a kind of zero config, so literally you plug it into the Ethernet, and you plug it into power, and that's all you need.
Thank you. Great.
How many projects do we highlight in the impact report? What SingularityNET project is focused on new discoveries and longevity research? What cultural project is a partner of Sustainable ADA in creating proof of impact NFTs? Who is the CEO of HyperCycle? HyperCycle allows